And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. It is Memorial Day. I hope you're feeling well. It's mighty warm already. 76 as you're waking up, waiting for a high of 93. Now, the heat index will be worse than that as we look for 97 on the heat index side. Now, there's a 50% chance of showers in between now and 3 o'clock, and it will gradually become sunny. We'll look at radar in a moment. Most of that's to the south, southwest of Meridian, making its way to the northeast. We've had a lot of thunderstorms rolled through overnight. We started around 2:30 getting storms in the area to the west, and they slowly moved across. A lot of rain moved across northern Lauderdale County, as well as northern Neshoba and into Kemper, Cypress Mills area. A lot of rain there, a lot of wind as well. Make sure in those areas that I just mentioned there that you watch highways and byways of trees that are down. It was a lot of wind. We don't want you bumping into anything. How do you feel today? A lot of you are sleeping late. You'll catch this at another time as you can today. We welcome you just the same. Let's get things going. Let's go to Collinsville for a good word this morning to the First Baptist.
Hey, happy Memorial Day to you. I hope your summer gets off to a great start, but most importantly today, I pray you take the time to remember, honor, and thank God for the men and women of our armed forces who died in service to our nation. May they never be forgotten. And now a word of wisdom from Proverbs 10:11. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. So is your mouth a fountain of life? Well, it should be. But what does that mean? Well, it's talking about how we use our words. Our words do two things. They, one, reveal things about us, and two, they impact others. First, our words reveal the nature of our heart. Jesus said that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So the words that come out of our mouth reveal whether we have a good heart or a bad heart. If there's spiritual life in us through Jesus Christ, then the words that give life should pour out of us. Second, not only do our words reveal things about us, but they also impact others. The Bible says that death and life are in the power of the tongue. We can cut people down or we can build other people up. Those who are righteous and seek to be righteous will use their tongue to speak what is true and what is edifying, what's appropriate and what is encouraging. Beloved, God has given you a powerful mouth. May you use it righteously to pour life into those around you. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. Corey joins us all the way from Louisville this morning. Glad to see you. Chet is up. Oh, well, let's see. Miss Joyce is joining us along with Angie Peacock, Elmer, Wally. How are y'all feeling today? Hope well. Every now and then there's a good story. This is one of those feel-good stories as we go to Missouri this morning. And this is where Utica Elementary School. A little youngster, I think he's 7 or 8 years old, decided to help out those who were less fortunate. And when I say less fortunate, those who can't afford lunches, as we know that. Those that were past due. I think it was $7,300 that was owed on those, and he did a fundraiser and all pitched in to help pay those off. That's a good heart at a good age. We salute him. What was his name? His name was Darren Kramer. Congratulations on that. He originally started out at a goal of $3,500 to go to it, and well, it all worked out. $7,300 to help those underprivileged kids. That's a good one there. I'm sure by now, we'll talk about this again, tragedy. And it turns out he died a hero, the General Hospital star who was 37 years old. Johnny Wachter is his name. He was walking a co-worker to a car when they were attacked by thieves. He gave his life for hers. Have y'all seen this story? Sad, 37 years old. He was shot. He was on the show from 2020 to 22. That's heartbreaking there. A lot of people liked him. But that's what happened with that story this weekend. Trump went to NASCAR. Do you see that? Now, some headlines you will read will say that he was booed. There was a small group, but overall, it was a mighty big welcome for him at NASCAR over the weekend. It was hoops and hollers and USA, USA shouted. It was. But some you'll read will try to twist that. Go back and watch the video from it. It's there. They're still fighting this. We brought this up, the 3-year-old little boy who drove his tractor. His dad's a rodeo star. I'm sure by now y'all remember me talking about this story, but it's not over yet. They're still fighting for that little youngster's life. He drove his little tractor into the creek, into the river. It was one of those two there. It was the fast-moving river is the way they do it in Beaver County, Utah, is where that happened. Still hanging on in their tough decision there. There was a chance that he was getting a little bit better the other day, but it's touch and go. We'll keep you up to breast on that situation that comes about there. In Boston over the weekend, just can't seem to do anything anymore without having to worry about who's sitting next to you. In a theater, 4 girls were stabbed by a stranger. For no apparent reason that happened there. Don't forget, and this is one of these things, they call it the apocalypse of the 99-cent store. Those dollar stores, they're disappearing off the face of the earth. I think there really is such thing as a dollar anymore, is it? I don't think so. Inflation has hit a 40-year high. And, of course, the names are going away and the stores are going away. Don't forget, as we begin today, it'll be Memorial Day. Most banks and businesses, well, when you get into government offices, will be closed. And there'll be a lot of retail stores open today. But for the most part, anything that related to the government, post offices and things of that nature will be closed today. So keep that in mind as you make your plans of what you've got to do. And if you're thinking that the food that you bought for the cookout today is a little bit higher, well, you're absolutely right. Average American went up 10% from last year's cooking at this time. And again, remember, it was already gone up from the year before that and the year before that. Inflation is biting us all, isn't it? We'll vote on all of that coming up in November. We'll see how that turns out. Up next, we'll get deeper into this forecast to let you know what to expect today. So glad to see you all up today. Good morning from Nashville. James Stanwood, how are you doing there? Stevie Winham joining us from Nashville also. A lot of you in Nashville. Y'all had some storms there yesterday as well in Nashville, Tennessee. Some booger bears, I might say. And then Evansville, Indiana, due north of there, had some bad weather as well. I saw a lot of tornado warnings issued in those areas. And we'll talk about this on the morning show. There was several lives lost out to our west in Texas as these storms went across. We have been blessed in Mississippi this year of the tornadic activity. We've had 1 or 2 small things happen. But by and large, we were spared this year. June 1st is the end of tornadic season as we'll move into hurricane season coming up. Just a few days away from that. We'll be right back as we begin this, and we'll get into that forecast for you to see what to expect today. It's all right around the corner. We'll be right back. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. The selection is always changing at Massey Supermart Auto Sales with low-mileage cars and trucks. How about a 2022 Jeep Wrangler or a 2021 Honda Ridgeline Sport with only 40,000 miles? A GMC Denali or a 2024 Silverado 2500? Drop in today and find the car that you're looking for. They're packed with low-mileage cars and trucks.
The low-profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Welcome back. Let's go to radar to show you what we've got right now as we hit our button to pull up Honda Viridian radar. This area up here, as we mentioned, Nashville there, boy, there was a lot of hail in that area as we see that. As we move down still to the west here around Greenville this morning, tornado watch is until 8 a.m. Now, all this up in this area here has expired, and also the Tupelo area has expired. Still showing this heavy storm activity over here near Gadsden as it comes across Anniston area there on into Marietta, Georgia. Headed that severe thunderstorm warning over here in Georgia as well, and Anniston, Alabama as well. Now, you'll see here at Utah, we've still got the severe thunderstorm warning until 9 a.m. For the most part around Utah, this area is cleared, and it's just moving to the east there. Now, as we look here, we do have some showers around Waynesboro this morning. Nothing too bad. A few showers there popping up at the southern end of Wayne County here. It's going to be right around Highway, what is this? Highway 63. In between there and Highway 45, some storms. There's Waynesboro. As we back out, we do see there's a few showers here right at the Smith County line, Raleigh. This area here due north of there, Polkville, getting some rain this morning. Not bad, but a shower or two. As we'll see that Silas, Gilberttown, Alabama, just got a huge shower there moving off to the east north of Coffeyville. Thomaston, Alabama's got a shower going on that's pretty good right now. Light showers around Hattiesburg. And something to keep in mind, we've had several wrecks already this morning. We had a wreck right there near where the Queen City truck stop is, where that bridge is, right past it. We had a wreck there, cattle trailer involved. No one was hurt. Right down the road, I-59, almost simultaneously, we had two wrecks there. Another wreck there. And all of these, I don't think there were any major injuries, but it was several wrecks. And again, it's slick, it's wet, and we're going to have more of this. It's not over. It always happens this way when we have this rain. So be cautious, be careful with wherever you're going today. Roads are very, very slick. Again, as we got brought up there, Wilda said, don't forget the 10 a.m. service at the old courthouse. And my, is that hard to say, calling that the old courthouse. Downtown Meridian, Constitution Avenue. 10 a.m. is when it will happen. I'll be there. I hope you'll join me. It's a day that we don't need to forget. As Billy Ray once said, some gave some gave all. We've heard that all our lives, and boy, what a true statement that is. Let's get into that deeper forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we go to take a look at what's going on, back in 96, we had a high of 95. It was 1892 that the low would be 45. That's been a little spell since we had that. As we look at today, 93, 94 is the forecasted outlook for the Meridian area, 92 in Columbus, and we should see that kind of floating down the river there, the Mississippi River, 93-ish all the way down there. As we glance across, a little cooler there in Birmingham today, around 88. We should see 83 in Auburn as this rain moves across. Now, here's what we're looking at. This is still going to be lingering around 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., the last the National Weather Service put out. Again, 50% chance of showers. It's a level 1, and it's fading and will be more toward Alabama than it is in Mississippi today. We'll look at that also, the threat here in just a little while. As we look at Bama there, that next rain chance is going to be 12 to 6, the biggest one right there. As we look at our temperatures here, 6-day, 10-day outlook, warm weather, Mississippi. The northern portion of Mississippi will be more or less kind of normal, but we've got a little bit warmer weather here. Could be hotter as it is in South Texas. So we're kind of blessed, aren't we? As we see that forecast today, depending on how you look at it, somewhere between 40 to 50% chance of showers today. The up to the date has it down to 40%, high 92. Tonight's low 66. And as you look at tomorrow, rain goes away. Sunshine expected with 93. By Wednesday, a tad cooler, and we'll stay in the 80s for the remainder of the week, somewhere between 86 to 89 in that time frame, or that temperature frame. Still warm, though, isn't it? Right at 90. Our biggest chance of rain moves back in next weekend on Saturday at a 30% chance of rain for Saturday and Sunday as we look ahead to that. As we look at that extended forecast, we see cloudy skies still on the 3rd of June, and we'll hold steady at around 90, topping mostly at 93 for the high there, all the way through the 10th of June. So we haven't seen the warm weather yet, have we? It's going to get hot, and we know it. July and August still lies ahead of us. Almost at number 6 of June coming in. Whew, halfway through the year. As we look at our major fishing time, Chet gives it to us this morning, as you can expect the best fishing times to be this afternoon, somewhere right around 4:30 through 6:30. Be set up by 6 and you'll be good to go. You have a minor time this morning around 8:30 to 10:30. Now, here's the bad news with all this. Wind's going to be southwest around 10 miles an hour, becoming northwest in the afternoon, but winds could gust as high as 20 miles an hour. So it'll blow some lures and lines. So if you're going to be out there on the water, it's going to be kind of windy from time to time. And again, it'll be a rain chance or two still occurring out there, so be careful with all that. Now, as I brought up the severe weather, let's go back and take a look at what the National Weather Service has for us as we pull up radar. This is today, and again, this is moving off to the east as we look at this. As I said, the Mississippi side not near as bad as it is as it moves into Montgomery, Columbus, all this way up here through the East Coast. Go right on up through Richmond and Washington is what we expect, starting here in Alabama. But again, a level 1 for the Meridian area, and that's moving out pretty quickly as sunshine will start to take place here in a little bit. Still a few thunderstorm warnings there in eastern Bama this morning. Let me pull this back up. If you're watching us from Alabama this morning, let me show you what we've got. Here is what we're watching in Alabama. Still there. That's a pretty strong storm as we look at this. Shear winds moving along about 58 miles an hour as that should be near Fruithurst in the next 24 minutes if you're watching from that area. So be cautious. All of this around the Heflin area there in Alabama. This is exactly there at Belltown, Alabama, as it moves northeasterly there. Boy, y'all be careful if you're out in those areas today. Glad to have you a part of this. We're getting ready for the morning show. It'll kick off at 7 this morning as we kind of get it all together. Somebody's red, white, and blue I can see out of the right corner of my eye, and they're bright. We'll let you see coming up at 7. We got to get some coffee on, and we'll be back in just a few moments here at the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.